about invitation to NATO?
Can you give a sense of to what extent President Biden is addressing the election on his trip here? It obviously overhangs some of the things that he's talking about in terms of alliances, in terms of what's next for Ukraine. How is he addressing that writ large?
The discussions he's having today are not about the election. It's really about, well, first of all, thanking the German people for their incredible support of Ukraine. Obviously, showing his gratitude to the leadership here, President Steinmeier and Chancellor Scholz. But it's really more about, as I kind of said in my opening statement, these are policy-heavy discussions, including the one he's having right now, about some of the key, still open issues affecting our collective security, and that's the war in Ukraine and, of course, what's going on in the Middle East, and really trying to work on policy solutions to solve these problems. I mean, that's really the gist of the meetings that he's been having.
Hold on. I'll follow up. I understand that it's not a meeting about the election, but Europe is worried, and what happens in the U.S. election will help determine what happens next on those issues. So, what reassurances can he give, or can he just not? Because he doesn't know. Nobody knows who's going to win.
I think his purpose for coming and the thrust of his discussions are really about reaffirming everything that he's done as president and commander-in-chief over the last 3+ years to improve alliances and partnerships, make them stronger, make them bigger, create ones where they didn't exist before, and work together on cooperative solutions for some of these challenges. Now, we've been talking about Ukraine and the Middle East, but they are also talking about climate change. They're talking about terrorism. They're talking about clean energy transition, all these transnational challenges that are before us. And his purpose is to reaffirm his commitment as President of the United States to seeing through, with the time he has left, on all those solutions. I mean, nobody can be perfectly predictive about what's going to happen next month, and that's democracy, and that's the way it works.
He says all the time that whenever he comes to Europe, they want to know. Remember the whole speech that he used to give at the beginning of his presidency about, are they asking him?
I will let the foreign leaders speak for themselves. I'm not gonna talk for them or what's on their minds. Let me just put it this way, and I saw it today. American leadership matters to leaders here. The United States matters. The effect, you heard it in the speech that President Steinmeier gave today. President Biden's personal leadership has mattered when it comes to European security. And the continent's security has changed over the last 3+ years, thanks to what Mr. Putin did. So, yes, he hears frequently from foreign leaders how important his personal leadership has been and his stewardship of these relationships, but also how important American leadership matters on the world stage. So I leave it at that.
John, I'm gonna try one more time here. You've talked about how the
if you guys keep on trying, I have to take away from that I'm being unsatisfactory.
Well, you said the president's here to cement his legacy, but he has less than 100 days in office. As part of cementing that legacy, handing over some of these achievements and responsibilities to European allies because of uncertainty about our election?
Well, so first of all, I didn't say he's cementing his legacy. He's reaffirming all the things that he has done and making sure that these European leaders know that for the remainder of his time in office, he's going to keep working on these same goals. So it's not about cementing a legacy. I'm sorry, and the second part of your question was?
So as part of reaffirming his legacy and with less than 100 days left in office, is he preparing to hand over some of these things to European allies, given the uncertainty about our election?
No, this was not about handing over. This wasn't these discussions today and the one going on right now. It's not about handing over responsibilities. It is about talking to our allies and partners about what together we can continue to do to help Ukraine win this war, to bring the war in the Middle East to an end, and to address all those other transnational challenges. One of the things that the president is not only aware of, but constantly restates, is that while the United States is the indispensable nation, he likes to say, the essential nation, that we've got to have allies and partners in these challenges with us. First of all, lends greater credibility to an effort if you've got partners. And as I said, where there wasn't an alliance or a partnership to deal with the problem, President Biden has gone and created the 50-plus Ramstein Group nations that help in Ukraine, and 20-plus nations that are helping in the Red Sea to beat back Houthi attacks on commercial shipping. And concomitantly with that, an understanding by him that some nations have unique capabilities that we don't have, and the ability to have conversations we can't have that are critical to solving these problems. So that's really all about. Yeah.